Welcome, everybody, to this new show that Shane has thought of and asked me to do on Thursday nights. We're going to give it a try. We're going to talk college football, and next week we'll talk college football and the NFL. It'll be a quick show. Hopefully, I can get it quick on the Triple B Experience. So, Shane, why don't you tell the people what we got going on here?
Well, Bubba, I just picked. It's that time of the year where high schools are starting. It's already played a week, and heck, Notre Dame beat up on Navy last week, but I don't count that as week 0. They just wanted to make money, but they had some slick old uniforms. But this is the time of year that I get excited. I like college football just a little bit more than NFL, and so I'm going to share with you 10 games that will be either entertaining based off of last year's performance or some key matchups just because they're just going to be fun to watch. So we'll knock these out pretty quick.
Okay, so the concept is we're going to talk college football, and we get to the NFL. We'll talk the NFL stuff, which I'm a little bit more experienced with college football. I like to watch college football, but I don't know a lot about it. And we're looking to get maybe somebody else to come in too. And this was Shane's idea the other day. I know Brian Lamort was actually talking to me about doing something like this. And if I can get Morty on the show, it's just everybody's time and doing this. And this is going to be a real quick show, people. This ain't going to be the hour-long Triple B Experience shows we're used to. So let's get to the graphic here. We can talk about this game right here.
Well, this game's going on right now. And when I basically turned it off and I was flicking through the Bob Barker tribute and this game, Utah was up, and Utah had just punted after stopping Florida twice. So Utah here has a backup quarterback and a backup center, so we'll see what happens. But it's going to be an entertaining game, and Utah is a really good team, and this is the last year they're going to be in the Pac-12.
I didn't know that.
That's a dying conference. Yeah.
Okay.
There's no longer going to be a Pac-12. Utah's going to be going to the Big 12. The Big 12 poached a few of the schools from the Pac-12, if you didn't know that. And then also that's because UCLA and USC are going to the Big 10. So with that, all the other teams in the conference, except for a few, are going to be going to the Big 12. So it's always fun seeing a Pac-12 and SEC matchup, especially, like I said, since it's the last one.
Right.
But, Utah's in for another really good season. And I was talking about the health of the quarterback. If they can get their starting quarterback back, his name's Cameron Rising, we'll see how he recovers. He had an ACL injury. So, but Florida has a brand new quarterback. His name's
I'm not a big Florida fan, Shane. I never was. I was never a Gator fan. I just never liked him.
No, Bob, I watched that thing on Netflix about Tim Tebow, and it got me hyped up. And the only reason it got me hyped up, it was a time period when West Virginia was constantly in the top, 4.
Okay.
Where they had Steve Slayton and Noel Devine, and they were just fantastic. And they beat up Clemson in the Orange Bowl, and Georgia in the Sugar Bowl, and Oklahoma in the Fiesta Bowl. It was just they were just running through people like Taco Bell does through my gut,
Right. Well, Eric Steele, thanks for tuning in. Steele says it's 14-3, Utah in the second. Thanks, Steele, for tuning in. We're going to do this, Thursday nights. We're going to try to do a little better. We're trying to get the spreads. So maybe you guys can put some money on it, whatever you guys need to do on either NFL and the college. But let's get to this other game right here. This one, yeah, brother. I'll tell you. You think he's going to make a difference?
Colorado was the first team out of the Pac-12. They used to be in the Big 12. They moved to the Pac-12, and now they're back in the Big 12. They jumped ship. Colorado was garbage, and Primetime came on board and said, "Pack your shit. Most of you guys aren't going to play for me." And we'll see how that works, because he had some good guys in the transfer portal, but they were one of the 5 worst teams in college football last year out of like 220 programs. So he gave them a motivational and then also kind of forced I don't know how much he had to play into getting them in the in the Big 12, but this is a rehaul of a team, and $1 million question is, are they gonna do anything against TCU? Because they're a 3-touchdown underdog.
I think so. They're going to go maybe maybe win 3 to 4 games. And that's not going good with Prime Time's attitude and his mystique of coaching, last year and then going to Colorado. So we will see, though. You know what I mean?
That's right. And he does have an interesting show on. I can't remember what it's on. I watched it last year.
He's good at his press conferences, man. He's inspiring.
He's dynamite. It shows him going into the Colorado locker room and making some changes and saying it doesn't look right. He's just the attention to detail he has. He knows what he wants. So, yeah, that's the number 2 pick. So,
okay, we're gonna get down to the number 3.
Yeah, this one is probably like the lowest on my list, and it was kind of tough.
Okay.
But
that's okay.
Fresno State, man, they're one of the better Group of 5 programs over the past couple of years, and they won 10 games in back-to-back seasons. And then you have Purdue. Okay, Purdue
always tough. Always tough.
They play in the Big Ten, and the Big Ten last year was good. Couple years before that, I think they were really overrated. No, they couldn't hold a candle to the SEC. But Purdue has won 17 games since 2021. So they're one of the better teams, in the Big Ten, and they're kind of flying under the radar because you got Penn State, which we'll get to.
Yeah.
So I'll talk about Penn State here in a minute. I live in Pennsylvania. I'm not a huge Penn State fan. I like them, but you should be a fan of that team this year.
Steele said he's picking Fresno State. Steele said
Fresno State. Now, I think Fresno State could be managed to hang around. I wouldn't be surprised if they pull up an upset. So.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Okay. Well, we're going down to the next pick we're talking about.
Okay, Bubba.
Okay.
Yeah. We're moving, huh? We're booking.
Yeah,
Boise State. So, Bob, I don't know if you know this, but they play on the Smurf turf. You know what that is?
Yeah, that's the blue. That's the
blue turf.
Yeah, Brian Burns, thanks for tuning in. Now, Burns knows your college football. Burns, we want to get you on here. I swear to God, you know your stuff on this. So
Burns is going to give me a letter grade at the end. So so hopefully I get a passing grade here.
He said prime time is going to be awesome. He said.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's gonna have his struggles, but he's going to turn that program around. But Boise State, okay, Washington was one of those Pac-12 teams that was on the outside looking in,
right?
And until recently, so. But they have a top 10 team, and Boise State historically has been good. And one of the most exciting plays I think I've ever watched was Boise State did the Statue of Liberty against Oklahoma. I think it was 07 or maybe 06, 07 time frame. If you Google that, it's just amazing. But that kind of put them on the map. They went for it, and they did a Statue of Liberty trick play, and they won. They beat Oklahoma in a bowl game.
Well, but I got some comments real quick. Burns says Washington wins big. Rich Smoke, the smartest man in Philly, says Washington will dominate this game easily. He says.
Yeah, last season they won 11 games, and they have a Heisman. They have a Heisman contender. His name's Michael Penix. I think he's a junior, but he's going to be fun. We'll see if he gets to go in week 1. But yeah, Boise State's still one of those group of 5. What's that?
He's getting there. He wants to jump a couple matches, and you know what a match I'm
this is no order. This is in no order. I'll tell you my favorites, but I'm just going through per the schedule. So
right,
Boise State, they still have some talent. They have a good quarterback, but they have a sleeper of a quarterback. I think they'll be fun to watch. But okay, we'll move to number 5. We'll get down there.
Who do you think's gonna? Who would you pick?
I think Washington's gonna win. I think it's gonna be like it's gonna be like high 30s, and then Boise State might have 14 points. They score.
If you guys bet, don't if you guys put money on it, don't be crying to me when you lose or whatever.
No, I gotta watch college football for a few weeks, in order to kind of make at least do a parlay card.
Yeah,
but now here's one.
Let's get to this one.
This is a sneaky matchup, and this is why I have this on here. Is last year it was triple overtime. Okay, and Dana Holgerson used to coach at WVU, and he he hung 70 points on Clemson in the Orange Bowl. So he always has offensive that can put up some numbers.
Yeah, you got to do that.
Yeah, and UTSA they won 23 games over the past 2 seasons, and you got to think one of those was against Holgerson's Houston team last year. Houston's moving into the Big 12 this year. They're going to have a rude awakening. I'm sure both these teams want to start their new
regime with a win.
Yeah, start their seasons in their new conferences with a win. So we'll see what happens here, guys.
Okay. Well, Larry Stryker from Wrestling Extreme Talk is in the house, and he said Neon Dion isn't going to do squat at Colorado.
Well, it's either going to be feast or famine. I think he's either going to succeed big or fail big.
Yeah, Burns has a comment, but I'm not saying it.
Okay. Well, Burns, here comes Burns.
Well, here it comes, Burns.
Okay. Burns, you're going to be surprised. Okay.
Yeah. Here we go.
This next game is one that it's you have to watch. Okay. They haven't played in a number of years. Penn State always beats the crap out of them. I think 1957 there was an upset. 84 there was a win, and 88 there was a win, and 91. So those are the very rare occasions that WVU has won.
Shane, but we got a couple Nittany Lion fans in the Facebook queue here. Larry Stryker is a we are, and I know Burns is.
They're not going to be disappointed with what I have to say here. So
okay.
Penn State is a top 4. I'm saying it here. If they're going to go through the Big Ten, they're going to lose one game. They're going to go to the Big Ten championship, and they're going to win. And they're going to be one of the 4 teams remaining left in,
you hear that, Burns?
At the end of the season. So, so I'm buying.
He said Jeff Hostetler's not playing. That's what he said.
Yeah, and we're Oliver Luck. So West Virginia travels, or if they had, White or Mark Bolger or somebody, at least when they were good, Geno Smith, those were the years you didn't want to play West Virginia. And of course, those are the 15 years they didn't play. So anyways, WVU travels, they travel well. There's a lot of hype surrounding the Nittany Lions. Like you said, they're 7. West Virginia wishes they could go back in a time machine and get, Rich Rodgers.
Where's this game at? Where's this game at?
It's in Happy Valley. It's going to be at 7:30. Yeah. It's going to be NBC's premier game. It's been advertised, and actually, I'm renewing my season tickets next year, even though my kid plays on Fridays and Saturdays.
Right.
So that I can get these tickets. I had season tickets for like 15 years to WVU, but
I know I know you.
They start winning, and they were really good when I had tickets. And then when they went to the Big 12, they wanted a donation per ticket of a shitload of money. Right. So your tickets are already $2,500, are now like $3,500 to keep your good seats. But anyways,
Major Harris isn't there either. Major Harris, he said.
Major Harris isn't there, but it's going to be fun. West Virginia has a quarterback in his last name's Green, Garrett Green. He's mobile. He's kind of don't know what you're getting. Right. And then the big question mark for Penn State. I know he's on the Heisman watch list, but there were a lot of questions of whether he's going to, how he's going to perform. The defense for Penn State is fantastic. The offensive line for Penn State is fantastic. What's going to happen in this game? Yeah, they're always studs. It's going to be close early, and then Penn State's just in the third quarter is just going to pull away, and it's going to be a blowout.
Well, still said they're going to lose 2 games. They always do, and tell them Penn State will choke. That's coming from Rich Smoke. Still says Burns is wrong, and then Allard is supposed to be a beast. Larry Stryker says.
Yeah, he's supposed to be good, but you don't know. He's unproven, so we'll see.
Saturday night's main event right here.
This is it. This is it. And then I have another game is a must watch. I think it's on Monday, but I'll have to look. Now, okay, next one. We beat that dead horse. The Mountaineers are going to be sad pandas.
Your team's not going to do so good. So, okay.
So this one is a dandy, guys. This is a good one. This is the South Cackalack, North Cackalack Classic, I call it. Although North Carolina is ranked, and I think I might have got these reversed, but, I I think North Carolina had a kid named Drake last year, and he returns him. And I remember that because, listen to Drake sing all his songs, But, these are both going to be top 25 teams through the season. Yeah, we are Penn State, right, Larry?
Yep.
So, this Drake kid might get a Heisman push. We'll see. He's really high on the list. So this is going to be a fun one. And this might be South Carolina's best team in 25 years.
Oh,
so,
wow. Okay.
Yeah, this is going to be, and they have a guy that used to.
They got something to shoot for. Burns said he's taking South Carolina. He said
that would be a good pick because they have Spencer Rattler, and I think he's overrated. He's a retread from Oklahoma. He's a real horse's ass in my opinion, but he's back for his final year. We'll see what he can do. But they have the surrounding cast for him. They're solid. So
well, Rich Smoke said he's in Carolina, but UNC will take it, and Paul Spencer just jumped on the Facebook stuff. So we are going. Steele will take South Carolina because of the Gamecocks. That's what Burns said. Okay, we're going to the next one here.
All right. Okay, guys. You got South Alabama. You got a directional school in Tulane. Now, Tulane.
Oh, wow. South Alabama.
Why is this on my top 10 list?
That's okay. That's okay.
I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Last season, one of the biggest surprises was Tulane. I think they went from a losing record to winning 12 games. Okay. So I think there was another year in their history that they had 11 wins or 10 wins. But I'd bet the farm that was the best season they've had ever down there in New Orleans. So
you're getting lambasted on Facebook for putting this South Alabama Jaguars and Tulane Green Wave. Green Wave, Burns said Green Wave easy, but I want to give to Paul Spencer. Rattler outperforms. Maybe his last games were Heisman like. Steele said, who picked this crap? Rich Smoke said Shane's pulling out some unknowns. I like it. And Bob Derry, thanks for tuning in. So guys, this is the first time we're doing this. So
I'm pulling unknowns because this is a week. They start off, the season.
Steve says you might as well put IUP up there. Well,
with St. Mary's School for the directionally wayward girls. That's who Alabama. Nick Saban usually schedules them 5 years out.
Yeah.
But,
oh my God. That's funny.
South Alabama, they're one of the better. I think they won 10 games in 2022.
I just like the name, South Alabama Jaguars.
Yeah. Trying to find some
stats
pictures of these guys. You had guys it was entertaining.
Gump,
but
you got Forrest Gump.
Yeah. French fry or that sling blade.
Yeah. Okay. So who are you taking in this one if you had to take something?
I would take Tulane.
Tulane? Okay.
Yeah.
But I do like
it's a toss-up.
Alabama Jaguars. We should put these guys in and see how they do for the year. South Alabama. You got to love it.
We'll talk about it maybe next week.
Yeah,
but
okay. We're going to go to the next one here.
The ninth pick, the ninth game I have on my 10-game list.
Okay.
Is number 9 Clemson. Okay.
Okay.
So they all open up with a conference road game against Duke, and Duke is usually garbage. Okay, when you schedule your first game,
I don't like Duke basketball.
Yeah, they're a basketball program. Yep. So Duke, usually has, guys that are maybe 2 stars, maybe a couple 3 stars, but the guys that are trying to go into schools to be NASCAR pit people. But
Rich Smoke says they will destroy Duke.
Well, they had 9 wins last year, Bubba. Duke had 9 wins. It's the ACC. I think the ACC is really overrated.
Yeah,
it's really overrated.
Just pound the living bejesus out of Duke.
Yeah. We'll see what happens. There's, we'll see. And I don't have
Clemson rolls too.
Yeah, this is an easy pick. I mean, but Duke's going to give them a little bit of a game. It's going to be at Duke. You never know what happens in college football.
That's right. You're absolutely
next week,
right,
you'll be like, Shane, that was a great game. I can't believe it. And
but next week we'll give some spreads here. We'll get a little bit more creative, and hopefully, like I said, Burns, if you want to come on, that game is already over. Bob Derry says so. We're just trying to do this. And what was the 10th one? I only have 9.
Oh, coming up next one.
I don't have it, brother.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you, it's LSU and Florida State. Okay.
LSU and Florida State.
Number 5. This is on Monday, I think. Number 5, LSU. Okay. And they play number 8, Florida State. Okay. Now, I think it was a 1-point game last year, if I'm correct. Okay. But, either one of these guys lose early in the season, they can still be playing at the end of the year, but they'll be sad panda thinking, oh my gosh, that one got away, because this is going to be a close game. LSU has a history of just crapping on people's parades. I mean, they did that to Florida in 2009 with Tim Tebow. They smacked, I think it was 2009 or 2008. They basically, almost ruined 2009. I think they ruined the season.
Okay.
But, Florida State, this is the highest ranked team since 2017, and people are picking them to win the ACC, which
it could happen.
It's always a 2-horse race with those two. Pitt was in the mix last year, but Pitt was overrated.
Yeah, Pitt was.
Right? Yeah.
I like Pitt, though. I do like Pitt. I mean, I like Pitt. Yeah. I like Penn State. I support it's hard for me to pick, when they play each other. But I got some comments here real quick. Paul Spencer, okay. Jeremy Trotter, St. Joe's prep product. Gotta love Will Shipley. Clemson's everything. Steele says FSU wins. Paul Spencer, Sunday night, FSU versus LSU. Bob Derry, LSU should win. Florida State is suspect and overrated, he says, to get to the comments. Thanks, guys, for these comments. This is the first time we ever did this show. Steele also said Clemson wins the ACC, he said.
Well, Brian Kelly has the LSU Tigers, I think, turned around. I think it fits. He wasn't a good fit at Notre Dame. I think this fits him a little bit more. Florida State, I think the guy's name is Jordan Travis. I'll have to look at my notes, but I think he's in the Heisman contention.
Well, Florida State, Johnny Wilson, receiver 6'6", is unstoppable, Paul Spencer just said. That's big as a receiver. Oh, man, 6'6", unstoppable. That's a first-round pick right there in the NFL, probably.
So, Bob, I told you 20 minutes. We're at 20 minutes.
There we go. Yes, everybody, thanks for tuning in. This is the first time we did this. Please subscribe to the Triple B Experience. This is Shane's deal. We wanted to come up with it. I'm just the host. Shane knows the college stuff. Now, next week, we'll talk NFL. We'll talk NFL too, and we'll do that and, 10 college games. So before I go, Bob Derry, Brian Kelly's a snake oil salesman. He fits perfectly with LSU and the SEC. Steele says, good show. Guys, thank you so much. We are out of here. Thank you, guys. And catch us on the flip side. Good night, everybody.
Let's go.